I seriously didn't know why people are not calling out Jean Grey for what she did in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I've watched the movie 3 times now, and I am really, really pissed off at Jean Grey. She spent most of the movie looking for her sister. Yeah, we get it. Your sister was kidnapped. She was kidnapped, and you were doing everything possible to find your sister. But do you have to go full villain to look for your sister? Do you know what she did? Like, she destroyed New York City. She did a lot of things. She damaged a lot of properties, put a lot of people's lives at risk, and possibly killed a lot of people in that movie, though they didn't show us. But I'm sure that she killed people after everything that she did. I was watching the movie, I was not even expecting Jean Grey to be the villain. I knew that Jean Grey was in the movie, but I didn't know that she was the movie's villain. That's the funny Hello, thing. Everyone. Welcome to Someone Zane Unfiltered. In this channel, we talk about movies and cartoons. So if you love movies and cartoons, welcome to this YouTube channel. Because on this channel, we talk about them. And if you're interested, please make sure you subscribe. Subscribe and support this YouTube channel. It will please me to see that you subscribe. So hit that subscribe button and make sure you like this video. On today's video, we're going to be talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day and the crazy things that happened in it. Seriously, the movie is so crazy. It is way crazier than I expected. So in this video, we're going to be talking about Jean Grey, Spider-Man, Frank, MJ, Ned, like basically most of the important characters. So make sure you subscribe. Let's dive in. Jean Grey's ability to jump into people, to jump into people's mind is really, really awesome and cool. Like, I love that power. I love that superpower. But there's something that you guys are not talking about. Seriously, there's something that you guys are avoiding. Like, I haven't seen it anywhere. The thing is, Jean Grey and her sister, they both have the power to jump into people's minds. But do they have the permission to jump into people's minds? That kind of power is something that only a villain can do. Like, it's the kind of power that villains have, not a superhero. Because villains are known for invading people's privacy, doing things that nobody gave them permission to do. That's what villains are known for, not superheroes. But Jean Grey and her sister, they were jumping into people's minds. I was thinking that Jean's sister was actually the villain in Spider-Man Brand New Day, because at first they introduced her as the one who had the ability to jump into people's minds. Then we now found out that Jean can actually do the same thing. Like, why would she jump into people's minds? Why would you jump into somebody's mind? Just imagine that you're just minding your business on a Saturday morning or on a Friday morning, and all of a sudden you lose consciousness. And when you regain consciousness, you will just discover that you just robbed the bank. Does that make sense? No. That's how their powers, like, that's one thing about their powers. They will jump into your mind and do whatever they want to do with you and then go. And not only will they jump into your mind, they will have access to all your memories, everything about you. They have the access to that. That doesn't make sense. So Jean Grey had the power to jump into people's minds, and in Spider-Man Brand New Day, she was jumping into people's minds and causing a lot of damages. She mind controlled a man to walk into a traffic, and we know what happened to that man. She mind controlled an elderly woman to drive a tank, and the tank was damaging a lot of police cars, causing a lot of damage. And to crown it all, the tank exploded, and that explosion caused a lot of damage. And at the very end of the movie, she now said, "Oh, I'm not a killer." Like, girl, are a killer because you've done so many things. You've done a lot of damage. Like, at the last point where she had the chance to kill the villain, she was like, she's not a killer. Then all the people that you killed before, so their deaths means nothing. And one thing about Disney is that, or Marvel, is that they have this habit of turning the villain into a good person just because the hero gave them a pep talk or something like that. That was what they did with Jean. At the very last point, she turned into a good person. That did not make sense. Moving to our hero, Spider-Man, I just love that they've given him the ability to, like, shoot organic web. Before, it was Tobey Maguire Spider-Man that had the ability to do that, but today Tom Holland Spider-Man can actually shoot, organic webs, and it's a cool thing actually. But I don't like the way they turned it into puberty sperm. Like, does he have to reach a certain age to be able to shoot organic webs? For Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the spider beat him today, and the very next day he was able to, like, shoot webs, and he was excited about it. But Tom Holland's Spider-Man, he was just really, really disgusted at it, scared of it. But if you look deep into it, Tom Holland's Spider-Man's reaction is actually the legit reaction, because you won't act excited when you see that your body can actually produce spider webs. You're going to be disgusted, and you will think that something is seriously wrong with you. So his reaction was really, really funny when he found out that he can shoot webs. But yeah, it's a cool power. Now he can shoot organic webs, and he has this arachnid DNA that heightens his powers, his spidey senses, his organic webs. Like, everything about him is just heightened now. He's very, very strong. Like, he is times 50 stronger now. And it is very, very cool. And I'm 100% sure that Tom Holland Spider-Man can actually beat Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Do not crucify me in the comments. Seriously, I love Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, but at this point, Tom Holland Spider-Man is winning. He's taking the cup. He's the strongest. Just watch that clip when he fought with those ninjas, those red ninjas. Like, everything about that was just so cool. And when he fought the Hulk, he was able to, like, contain the Hulk. Yeah. So he's really, really strong. Some tweets or some posts where people were, asking why the Punisher looked or acted different in Spider-Man Brand New Day. The answer is actually simple. Spider-Man Brand New Day is for the family. It's for children and it's for adults. And we do not want to see, that kind of violence in a family movie. Yeah, the Punisher is a serial killer. He does so many bad things. He kills so many bad people. Like he's really, really violent. Yeah, we get it. But now he's in Spider-Man Brand New Day. He needs to be friendly because kids are watching. That's just the answer. He's still the same Punisher, just that he's in a different movie. He's in a different movie, and that movie happens to be a movie for both children and adults. That's just it. Frank the Punisher is still the same, and I actually like his character in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I actually love how sweet and friendly he is to Peter, and how fatherly he is to Peter. It's really, really good. Another reason why I still maintain that Jean Grey is actually a villain is because of what she did to Bruce. Seriously, Bruce, the Hulk. I thought whenever Jean Grey jumps into someone's mind, she will like get every information about the person's challenges, the person's struggles, like everything about the person would just be like shown to her. So when she jumped into the Bruce's mind, she would have known that Bruce is actually trying to keep the Hulk at bay. Like Bruce is actually trying to not turn into the Hulk because he doesn't want to hurt people, and because once he turns into the Hulk, they might send him away forever for good. She saw all these things. Yeah, she saw it, but they didn't show it in the movie. She saw all these things and jumped into Bruce's mind and unleashed the Hulk. So what she did is not really good. And the sad part was after Bruce turned back into a human, he was asking Peter, "Oh, did I hurt anybody?" That question really hurts me. And they had to like send Bruce away. They didn't even like keep him. And they were like to be like, "Oh, it was actually Jean's fault. It's not his fault." No, they didn't. They took him away because the people thought he actually lost control and transformed back into the Hulk. Yeah, and Jean did not really like punished for this. She didn't really like, say sorry. Oh, I did this, I did that. She didn't even like recognize her mistakes. She didn't do that, and they didn't show it in the movie. So they sent the Hulk away. They sent Bruce away to somewhere else for good because they don't trust him anymore. It's really sad that MJ and Ned doesn't remember Peter anymore. They're best friends. But I'm thinking that Ned actually remembers Peter. Remember, Ned has the ability to, harness magic. He can do magic. Yeah. So I'm thinking that Ned actually remembers Peter because at the end of the Spider-Man Brand New Day movie, we saw him and Peter doing their choreographed handshake. Like seriously, I know it's muscle memory, but it means that he actually remembers. The memory is somewhere in his brain. If he only thinks deep, if he only does something that might break the spell, he would remember Peter. But MJ doesn't remember at all. Even after reading Peter's letter and all that, she still did not remember anything about Peter. And I've seen some posts where people are actually attacking MJ, saying bro code that his best friend remembers him. Like girls are just nothing. You guys should calm down. MJ doesn't remember. It's not her fault that she doesn't remember. She's under a spell. And another theory is maybe she actually remembers because that moment when Jean's powers exploded and she got everybody under her control. If you can remember, MJ was crying. Yeah, tears was coming out of her face, of her eyes. Yeah, she might have remembered. Maybe Jean's powers triggered the memory, or maybe broke the spell, and she remembered Peter and everything that they've been through. I'm not saying that it happened. So, guys, with everything that happened in Spider-Man Brand New Day, I seriously cannot wait for the next Spider-Man movie to be out. Even with that choreographed handshake between Peter and Ned, like the way they just did everything, it showed us that maybe that Ned might have actually remembered Pete. And again, who's excited for Avengers Doomsday? Though December is still far, but I'm seriously excited for it. They've released the second trailer, and I cannot wait for the movie to be finally out so we can talk about it in this channel. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and make sure you like this video. And again, if you think that Jean Grey was a villain, or if you think that Jean Grey was not a villain, please go to the comment section and make your thoughts public. Write down what you think about this video. Yeah.